here's the tomb of Archon Bartolom. In here is the guy, the Chosen, guarding the ashes. Alright, that way's blocked off, okay. Sky Shard Spellblade. Ikon, huh? That's what that dude screamed out. I really thought there'd be some lore notes in here someplace. So far, haven't found any. No, don't have any. Any down here in the corner? Nope. Huh. There's a metal that converts Kalidor's Tempest from Aether and Fire to Lightning. That's for an Arcanist. Oh, there's one called Loose Ends. Got to clear out some of this stuff here before we go back and read it. Otherwise, they'll aggro and chase you all the way around. Alright, here's where we found it. Right next to this. Alright, reading the lore note here for Loose Ends. And we leveled up.
Deceived, stuck down here in the dark like a rat in a trap. I write these words so I might have vengeance. It's unlikely that this will be found, but if someone reads this, know that Malvek Breville is a traitorous cur. I am Nazon Untrays. I am a foreigner to these lands, and unashamed to say that I am both a thief and assassin. I tell you this now so you know that I am truthful in my later words. I have been in the secret employ of a wealthy noble, one Malvek Breville. Most of my work for him was stealing key pieces of information and material for leverage. I have slit the throats of no less than 3 of his rivals or their agents. I broke into the chambers of the man above Malvek and placed certain evidence. This resulted in the man's arrest, allowing Malvek to move into his position of power. None of this is new. Same things happen with wealthy men and scheming nobility the world over. More recently, he bade me to recover an ancestral artifact from his father's tomb, the family signet ring, a thing that should not have been buried, he says, but the argument between father and son led to rash decisions. I care not for the reason, his coin was always good, but I say nothing and let him speak. He went on to say the tomb is lavished in my family's vast wealth of the ages. Touch nothing. I am not paying you to plunder my ancestors' tomb. You are only to recover my father's signet ring and return, and make sure you carry a torch. Seldom a light escapes those depths. Do not dare return without the signet. I found the entrance easy enough, but it just revealed stairs into blackness. After lighting a torch, I descended into the tomb and wandered these halls for hours, searching for a single name amongst these countless thousands of dead. At last I gave up. But I would not leave empty-handed. I was driven to find the wealth Malvek spoke of. I went farther and farther into the darkness. There were some treasures, but nothing of what he hinted at. I pressed on, ignorant of the risk of losing my way back. Once the torch started flickering, I knew, as if I had planned the betrayal myself. Malvek had played me like a fool. His careful choice of words stung at my pride and ensured that I would be driven to find the signet despite any risks. And the subtle suggestion to bring a single torch, I was a fool to bring just the one. Here I am to stay as I write these final words. Now I see the deception for what it was, only the elimination of a loose end. My light is done, and so am I. Nazan.
Wow. He learned the hard way. You reap what you sow. See, here's a loose torch. This might have been what he was hunting for. Because you open that, it opens a secret. Then you break this wall down. And here is another secret. But first, we're going to kill the chosen one guarding the ashes, which is right back here. Which is Archon Bartolom, which is the tomb we are in. There's his ashes. Here's his ashes, and here's his monster infrequent. He actually has 2 of them. One of them is for the Oath Keeper. The other one's for the Demolitionist. This one here is for the Oath Keeper. And I think here might have been all the treasure the dude was hunting for. Because here's all the treasure. Of course, I don't see a signet or anything over here, so let's go see what's in this secret room. Lost Tomb of the Daemon. And here's another lore note called A Terrible Discovery. Here's the lore note for A Terrible Discovery.
The earthquake has inflicted some damage on the upper levels of the catacombs. Bones scattered, tombs crumbled, piles of rubble everywhere, and one of the bridges was completely destroyed. This is terrible news, as it forces us to take long-forgotten alternate paths to reach the furthest end of the catacombs. My true dread is in exploring the deepest foundations. I am no stranger to death. I have combed over battlefields and waded through blood and gore to recover the brave heroes lost in combat. However, this secret place where the bones of cursed and nameless damned are banished makes my skin crawl and my soul scream. With every step I wish to turn and flee from this unholy place. I have long proposed that keeping the remains of so many wicked men in one location is unwise, but thus far my voiced concerns have been dismissed. Criminals, witches, heretics, cursed, murderers, and the insane have been secreted away down here. I can feel their malignant souls heavy upon the air, drowning us in their combined guilt, pushing the crumbling walls until they buckle, calling to the dark hollows of the earth, imploring vile things to seek this prison and release the centuries of evil that is trapped within. I have discovered a great tear that has opened up beneath the catacombs. Several support walls have collapsed and fallen into the darkness below. There are scratches on the floor and walls as if something scored the very stone. I have also found bones with strange markings on them, as if gnawed by an animal. And lately I've been hearing sounds coming from the walls, as if something was skulking in the darkness nearby. Some wretched thing gliding along the shadows, staying just outside the light. My worst fears have come to pass. I must flee and warn the others. Caretaker of the dead, Alistair Pencroft.
Well, now you know why the game has the name Grim Dawn. Well, this is what he's talking about. Undead just rising up from anywhere. Hearing stuff in the walls. Grim Harvest boots. What do we got here? Oh, pet stuff. Alright, now how many points we got? We got 6. I think we will do Demolitionist. What's Temper? Oh. One more point. Or that'll get us some more damage on Flame Touched. Oh, it's a commando is what it makes. Okay. Now what's our damage? 20,800. Rothan the Timeless, huh? There's those rocks I was talking about. If you remember a few episodes ago when we killed the Swarm Queen, she drops stuff like that. That's what it looks like. Alright, well, let's finish exploring here, because I usually just come down here to get the devotion point and then bail, but let's see what else is here. It's kind of the whole point of this playlist here, is to explore and find everything we can find. We did get one more devotion point, so cool. We'll just put that on Oleron's Rage. Okay, so it's just going to loop around and we'll go right back out where we came. And we'll come out here and see if where this takes us. If it takes us to the exit or the beginning. Okay, it takes you to the beginning and not another area. It's kind of neat. And now we're back at Fort Ikon here. We're actually almost there. It's just right here, so we don't have too much further to go. This episode's going to be a little longer than normal. Looks like it's going to run close to an hour. But there was a lot to do here, and I just didn't want to split it up. Luckily with YouTube, you can pause it and come back later, and it'll pick up where you left off. So I know if I go straight across this bridge, it'll be there, but what's in here? Bunch of iron in there. Okay, let's go check the other side. Okay, so kind of the same thing. What's this guy? There's a footman. Don't go in there. The ethereal's torn open a rift. More are pouring through. Oh, this guy thinks someone's coming for him. There ain't nobody coming, dude. These guys got protective shields, so they didn't drop any items. And here's Fort Ikon. We got the Praetorian's report, the Black Legion scouting report for the necropolis.
Good, you've arrived.
And here's Inquisitor Creed.
Call it what you will. We've been attacked from within. The ethereals, it seems, have gotten a hold of the commander. Precisely. Based on the reports, Commander Lucius has been sending our men out on futile missions, thinning out the force's defenses. Then, once the watch was sufficiently weak, he opened the gates, allowing the ethereals to pour in. Not counting on human ingenuity, however. Weapons Master Edric collapsed the front gates with some explosives, cutting off the enemy's forces. When we arrived with reinforcements from the south, coward Lucius fled into the armory. Until those gates are cleared, we are stuck here. I need you to enter the armory and recover what's left of the heavy explosives. Use them to clear the rubble. But beware of Lucius. He has shed his human disguise in favor of a monstrous form, which I cannot even begin to describe. We will likely have to deal with him to get to the explosives.
And here's a side quest to get. He wants to get some scrap and some building materials. Okay, we'll get that too. Alright, here's the Black Legion scouting report for the necropolis.
Necropolis Scout Commander Lucius ordered a scouting mission to the north. When I asked what we should be looking for, he almost lost his temper and said anything that might cause a disturbance. His reaction seemed rather out of place and strange. The commander is not known for such outbursts. It also struck me odd the way he used the word disturbance. I took my scouting squad through the north gate and almost immediately started seeing some ethereal activity. We changed our course and headed for the hills rather than traveling the main road. It took longer, but we avoided large numbers of the ethereal dead. They appear to be gathering in the north in preparation for an attack. Their numbers have swelled tremendously since my last mission outside the walls. The return trip is going to prove difficult. I sent one of my scouts back to report this information immediately. Heading north, we passed by the necropolis. From the mountain top, we did not see anything unusual. Searching as far as we could on our resources, we discovered nothing but the accursed blood cultists everywhere. Avoiding them made our progress slow. We did see one strange thing of note. The cultists appear to be collecting blood in vast quantities and hauling them in wagons filled with large glass cisterns. We followed for a bit to see where they were being taken, but were spotted and forced to retreat. 1st Regimental Scouts of Black Legion, Sergeant Madius Castellan.
All right, and the Praetorians report.
The air reeks of sulfur and smoke. It is difficult to breathe as I write this report. We have been ambushed, facing overwhelming odds. Some kind of ethereal monstrosity has risen from the earth up ahead and is spreading ether fire wherever it passes. I've never seen anything like it. The captain ordered us to punch through the opposition and take out that horrific thing, but he was killed in the initial attack that claimed most of our equipment and troops. The men panicked and we were forced to retreat. I managed to rally the few that were left, but it had become abundantly clear that we would not survive this. I pulled the battalion back to the entrance and ordered a full retreat to Fort Ikon. With the ethereals fast approaching, there was not much time to consider our options. I had the quartermaster hand me what was left of our explosive charges. We rigged the tunnel entrance and set them off, effectively sealing the mountain pass and the ethereals in with it. I regret to report that with the Twin Falls Bridge destroyed and the tunnels sealed, we are now effectively blocked off from the south. But I take solace in knowing that the immolation we witnessed will not spread beyond the mountain crags. Praetorian Marcus Edin.